What if one country could feel like an entire planet? China is a land where mountains rise like stone forests, rivers carve poetic valleys, and cities glow like visions of the future. It's a civilization that has stood for more than 5,000 years, yet today it builds some of the world's fastest trains and tallest skylines. Here, ancient temples sit quietly in the mist, while megacities pulse with neon light. Farmers still terrace mountainsides by hand, as glass bridges stretch across dizzying cliffs. China is not just history, it's not just modern power, it's contrast, it's scale, it's transformation. And in this journey, we'll explore the places that make China one of the most fascinating countries on Earth. Chongqing. This megacity is a living paradox, home to over 32 million people in its vast administrative area, making it the largest city by population in the world. With roots stretching back over 3,000 years, it served as China's wartime capital during World War II from 1937 to 1945, enduring relentless bombings while standing as a symbol of unbreakable resilience. Built across steep mountains and carved by the deep gorges of the Yangtze and Jieling rivers, the terrain is so unforgiving that traditional city planning simply collapses. Elevated highways coil over one another like steel serpents, multi-level bridges leap across valleys, and tunnels pierce through hillsides. The crown jewel of this engineering madness is the Chongqing Rail Transit. At Liziba Station, on Line 2, the monorail train literally slices through a 19-story residential building, gliding past living rooms and balconies every few minutes. Residents watch trains pass inches away, an audacious fix born from zero flat land left to build on. It's one of the planet's most viral urban feats. Nearby, Hongya Cave rises as a massive 11-story stilt-house complex built into a cliffside. At night, its glowing, layered lights transform it into something eerily reminiscent of the iconic bathhouse from Spirited Away, drawing crowds for its mesmerizing neon spectacle. And the food? Chongqing is legendary for its fiery, numbing hot pot, loaded with chili peppers and Sichuan peppercorns that deliver a tingling, addictive burn locals crave even in scorching summer heat. Yet Chongqing races far beyond history and survival. It's emerging as a powerhouse in embodied AI and robotics. Leading firms like Unitree Robotics are pouring investments here, turning the city into a major hub for humanoid and industrial machines. Cutting-edge labs showcase bipedal robots with advanced sensors, vision systems, and real-time intelligence. Mass production surges forward. Within the next 5 to 10 years, these robots are expected to leave factories behind, entering homes, hotels, hospitals, and streets. They'll hold fluent conversations, detect human emotions, respond with empathy, and in some visions, even become companions. Mount Fanjing. Rising dramatically from the misty Wuling Mountains in southwest China's Guizhou province, Mount Fanjing stands at 2,570 meters, the highest peak in the range and one of Chinese Buddhism's most sacred sites. This UNESCO World Heritage Site is believed to be the future Bodhimanda of Maitreya Buddha, the coming enlightened one. Its temples, originally built during the Ming Dynasty over 500 years ago, with present structures rebuilt, cling impossibly to sheer cliffs and jagged summits. The most surreal feature, the Red Cloud's Golden Peak, where twin golden-roofed temples perch atop a narrow, mushroom-shaped rock. Reaching them requires climbing around 8,888 steps through swirling clouds and ancient forests alive with rare golden snub-nosed monkeys. In a world of haste, Mount Fanjing endures as a vertical sanctuary, where nature and enlightenment defy gravity. Shanghai. This megacity pulses as China's glittering gateway to the future, home to over 31 million people in its sprawling metro area in 2026, one of the world's most populous urban powerhouses. Once a humble fishing village, Shanghai exploded onto the global stage in the 19th century as a treaty port, absorbing Western influence while fiercely guarding its Chinese soul. Divided by the Huangpu River, the colonial Bund stares across at Pudong's mind-bending skyline. Super-tall towers redefining the horizon. The Oriental Pearl Tower's 468-meter futuristic spheres glow pink against the night. While the twisting Shanghai Tower spirals 632 meters upward like a coiled dragon piercing the clouds. Neon floods Nanjing Road and beyond, endless LED rivers, holographic ads, and skyscrapers blazing in impossible colors, crafting a cyberpunk dreamscape where day never ends. Transportation shatters limits. The Shanghai Maglev rockets at over 430 kilometers per hour. And Hyperloop-style prototypes already test speeds toward 1,000 kilometers per hour by the 2030s. Yet amid the steel, tradition endures. Ancient Yuyuan gardens, quiet temples, and alleyways persist. And then there's 1,000 Trees, a stunning mixed-use marvel by Heatherwick Studio, rising like twin forest-capped mountains from the Suzhou Creek waterfront. Thousands of trees, shrubs, and plants cascade over concrete terraces, turning a shopping and cultural hub into a living, breathing vertical forest that blurs the line between city and nature. Fenghuang Ancient Town. Nestled along the gentle Tuojiang River in Hunan's misty Zhangjiajie region, Fenghuang Ancient Town, meaning Phoenix, has preserved its ethereal beauty for over 300 years. Built in 1704 during the Qing dynasty, this border town blends Han, Miao, and Tujia cultures into a living masterpiece of wooden architecture. Remarkably, more than 50% of its population belongs to the Miao and Tujia ethnic minorities, infusing every corner with their vibrant heritage. Its signature stilted houses, Jiaojiaolu, perch impossibly over the water, timber frames suspended on stilts, leaning out like guardians from another era. Stone alleys wind between them, while the iconic Hongqiao, Rainbow Bridge, arches gracefully across the flow. Miao women are renowned for their heavy, breathtaking silver jewelry. Full sets can weigh up to 10 kilograms or more, a dazzling display of craftsmanship and cultural pride. At night, thousands of red lanterns ignite along the banks, their warm glow reflecting in the water, transforming the town into a floating dreamscape of light and shadow. Zhangjiajie National Forest Park. Deep in Hunan Province, Zhangjiajie National Forest Park rises as one of China's most surreal natural wonders. China's first national forest park, established in 1982, spanning 4,810 hectares or 48.1 square kilometers, and now a UNESCO Global Geopark. What makes it legendary? Over 3,000 towering quartz sandstone pillars erupt from the earth, some soaring more than 200 meters straight up, blanketed in dense forests and often shrouded in swirling mist. These pillar-like formations create a vertical forest that defies gravity, peaks floating between clouds, valleys plunging into shadow, and an otherworldly landscape that looks impossible in reality. James Cameron drew direct inspiration here for the floating Hallelujah Mountains in Avatar, especially the dramatic formations in Zhangjiajie Scenic Area, where the iconic Avatar Hallelujah Mountain stands as a real-life counterpart to Pandora's skies. Tianzi Mountain offers sweeping views of layered peaks via a scenic cable car ride that glides through the mist, while the Beilong Elevator, the world's tallest outdoor lift, shoots visitors 326 meters upward in just 88 seconds. And for the bold, the nearby Zhangjiajie Grand Canyon Glass Bridge stretches 430 meters high above a 300-meter deep canyon, the longest and highest glass bridge on Earth, turning every step into a heart-pounding walk on air. Great Wall of China. Stretching across mountains, deserts and grasslands, the Great Wall of China is one of the most ambitious constructions in human history. Built and rebuilt over more than 2,300 years, its earliest sections date back to the 7th century BCE, while most of what we see today comes from the Ming Dynasty, 1368 to 1644. When all natural barriers and lost sections are counted, the wall spans an astonishing 21,196 kilometers, making it the longest man-made structure on Earth. It winds over razor-sharp ridges, plunges into valleys, and climbs steep peaks, some sections rising more than 1,000 meters above sea level. Contrary to myth, it wasn't a single wall, but a vast defensive system of walls, watchtowers, beacon towers, and fortresses built using stone, brick, tamped earth, and even sticky rice mortar, strong enough to survive centuries. Millions of soldiers, peasants, and prisoners labored here, and countless lives were lost, earning it the name the longest cemetery on Earth. Hukou Waterfall. On the mighty Yellow River at the border of Shanxi and Shanxi provinces, Hukou Waterfall roars as the largest cascade on China's legendary Mother River and the world's biggest yellow waterfall. Second only to Huangguoshu in height and scale, its waters narrow through a tight gorge, plunging 20 meters wide into a thunderous, mist-shrouded cauldron that echoes like a boiling kettle. Hailed as the heart of the Yellow River and the soul of the nation, this golden torrent surges with raw power, carrying swirling amber silt. Deeply cherished in the hearts of Chinese people, its iconic image graces the back of the 50 yuan banknote. In nature's grand theater, Hukou isn't just a waterfall, it's the unstoppable pulse of an ancient civilization. Huangshan, Yellow Mountain. Rising from Anhui Province, Huangshan, or Yellow Mountain, is one of China's most legendary landscapes, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 1990 and celebrated for its granite peaks, twisted ancient pine trees, hot springs, and vast seas of clouds. Many summits rise beyond 1,800 meters, with sheer cliffs and knife-edge ridges that feel almost unreal. The mountain is threaded with over 60 kilometers of stone walking trails, carved directly into the rock and linked by stairways, bridges, and handrails, making even the most dramatic peaks accessible on foot. Huangshan has inspired poets, monks, and painters for more than 1,000 years, shaping the soul of traditional Chinese landscape art. At sunrise, when golden light spills over floating peaks and drifting mist, Huangshan feels less like a mountain and more like a dream carved in stone. Hangzhou. Hangzhou, one of China's most historic and beautiful cities, has been admired for over 1,000 years, once praised by Marco Polo as the finest and most splendid city in the world. At its heart lies West Lake, where willow-lined shores, ancient pagodas, and mist drifting over the water create a landscape that feels almost painted. Yet Hangzhou also embraces the future. Along the Qiantang River stands the Intercontinental Hangzhou, a striking golden spherical hotel that glows like a rising sun against the skyline. Nearby, the futuristic Hangzhou Olympic Sports Center, known as the Lotus, spreads across the riverbank with petal-like structures, hosting world-class sporting events. The river itself hides a powerful spectacle. The Qiantang River, tidal bore, the largest in the world, where a roaring wall of water can surge several meters high, racing upstream at highway speeds and drawing thousands of spectators each year. In Hangzhou, tranquil lakes, bold architecture, and the raw force of nature exist side by side, an ancient city that continues to reinvent itself without losing its soul. Li River and Karst Mountains. Flowing through Guangxi Province, the Li River winds past one of Earth's most poetic landscapes, a forest of towering karst limestone mountains shaped by millions of years of erosion. These sharp, cone-like peaks rise suddenly from flat valleys, creating a scenery so iconic it's printed on China's 20 yuan banknote. Along the river, bamboo rafts drift silently through mist, while fishing villages and water buffalo dot the emerald banks. At dawn, the karsts appear to float, peaks dissolving into clouds, reflections melting into water. Some of these vertical mountains are climbable. Local climbers and adventurers ascend them using narrow stone steps, carved stairways, metal ladders, and fixed ropes, often built centuries ago by monks or villagers. In a land where water, stone, and human effort meet, the Li River and its karst mountains stand as a living masterpiece, quiet, timeless, and impossibly beautiful. Yuanyang Rice Terraces. In Yunnan Province, the Yuanyang Rice Terraces cascade down mountains like liquid gold, hand-carved by the Hani people over 1,300 years. Layer upon layer, these terraces follow the natural curves of the land, trapping water that mirrors the sky at sunrise and sunset. Clouds drift between the fields, villages cling to slopes, and the mountains glow in shifting colors. Yuanyang isn't just farmland. It's a living masterpiece shaped by patience, gravity, and time. Hong Kong. Hong Kong rises as one of Earth's most vertical cities, home to over 7.5 million people, squeezed between mountains and sea. With more skyscrapers than any other city on the planet, its skyline forms a blazing wall of steel along Victoria Harbour. Once a quiet fishing settlement, Hong Kong evolved into a global financial powerhouse where East meets West in language, law, and lifestyle. Beyond the neon glow, nearly 75% of its land remains green. Hiking trails, remote islands, and silent beaches hiding just minutes from the urban core. In sharp contrast, Hong Kong has long held the record for the highest number of Rolls-Royce cars per capita in the world, symbols of extreme wealth gliding through some of Earth's densest streets. And connecting this city to the future is the Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge, a 55-kilometer engineering marvel, one of the longest sea-crossing bridges ever built, stitching together 3 megacities across open ocean. Furong Ancient Town. Perched in the misty mountains of Hunnan's Jiangxi region, Furong Ancient Town, also known as Town on the Waterfall, is a 2,000-year-old marvel, built directly atop a roaring 60-meter-high, 40-meter-wide waterfall along the Yu River. Founded over 2 millennia ago as a Tujia trading hub, this border town blends ancient Tujia and Miao cultures into wooden stilt houses, Jiao Jiao Lu, that cling impossibly to cliffs and overhang the thundering cascade. Narrow slate streets wind between them, while the waterfall powers through the heart of the town like a living vein. At night, lanterns glow along the edges, illuminating the mist and turning the entire scene into a floating, ethereal dream. Shenzhen. This southern Chinese megacity is the ultimate symbol of speed, transformed in just 4 decades from a quiet fishing village into a global tech and innovation powerhouse of over 18 million people. Skyscrapers rise in dizzying density. The 599-meter Ping An Finance Center dominates the skyline, while endless neon rivers, holographic ads, and stacked highways create a living cyberpunk dreamscape where night never feels dark. Connecting Shenzhen to Hong Kong, the Shenzhen Bay Bridge stretches 5.6 kilometers across the water, a sleek, graceful arc of steel and light. Shenzhen is also the world's first city to convert its entire public bus and taxi fleet to fully electric. In a world still planning the future, Shenzhen is already living it. Zhangjiajie, Zhangjiajie. Perched on the border of Hunan and Guangxi in China's Langshan scenic area, Zhangjiajie, meaning eight-cornered stronghold, rises as the soul of Langshan, its main peak topping 800 meters. Famous for stunning Danxia landforms, crimson rock faces soar into bizarre pinnacles and snail-shaped clusters, carved by ancient erosion into vertical wonders shrouded in mist. Steep trails and sheer drops challenge the bold, creating a landscape that feels impossible. Red cliffs plunging into valleys, peaks twisting like frozen flames. Leshan Giant Buddha. Carved into a sheer cliff where 3 rivers meet in Sichuan, China. The Leshan Giant Buddha stands as the world's largest stone Buddha, 71 meters tall, built between 713 and 803 AD during the Tang dynasty. His serene face gazes calmly over the confluence of the Min, Dadu, and Qingyi rivers, with hands resting on knees and toes large enough for dozens of people to stand on. From ancient rivers to futuristic skylines, China has shown us that one nation can hold countless worlds within it. If this journey amazed you, imagine what's still left to explore. Subscribe and stay with us, because the next destination might challenge everything you thought you knew about our planet.